All right, we're going to tackle this last one, which is where we want to see what are all the submissions for some ticket that might be the duplicates. The test case is actually set up to really make sure there's a lot of duplicate, because I only let the ID be the size of a byte. It's 127 possible entries here to the raffle. So there's definitely going to be some duplicates that get built pretty fast, as opposed to potentially millions of numbers. So how do I figure this one out? Well, right now the data structures I have, the duplicates all come out of here. And so I could, as a way of solving this problem, I could go get the unique submission and add to that every single one of the duplicates that also has that ID in it. The way I would do that, quite simply, is I would loop through every single submission and say, if that submission matches the number I'm looking for, then include it into this other list that's going back out. Pretty straightforward, but very resource intensive. I have to, at that point, go through every single submitted ticket every single time. If I have a huge raffle of millions of tickets submitted, that's a pretty slow process to go through every single one every single time. And typical to the thing we're trying to learn, which is data structures. So what if I use my symbol table, my map? So I can have a map where the ID is a byte, which is the number. It could also be an integer. I'm going to use an integer. Capital I integer, has to be an object. And the target is a list of tickets, which is the duplicates by, or I can do all tickets by number. Let's do all the tickets right there, because I don't care. I need to grab the one from the original submission anyway, so why don't we just keep track all of them at this point? And so this is going to be a new, I can either do a tree map or a hash map. It doesn't matter either way. We do a hash map in this case, just mix it up a little bit, because I did a tree set up here, and I'm going to do a hash map down here. I'm going to type ticket. I'm sorry, integer, comma ticket. Oops, and I did tickets S here, so ticket S off. And I don't think I imported this properly. Control space, I can do that here, or I can hit Control Shift O, and that'll fix all my imports automatically. And what's it complain about over here? What did I do over here? So let's see. Oh, yeah, it's not a hash map of ticket. It's a hash map of list of ticket. You have to be careful on getting those aligned. Now, you're not required to put this generic on the instance of it in most cases, but it's helpful to really making sure everything aligns, making sure you have everything, that you see that it all works. And sometimes the tools are required. Well, it'll give you a warning if you don't do it. All right, so now get submissions for, well, assuming this new data structure gets filled, this actually becomes really quick, because I can do quite easily all tickets by number. Excuse me, that's what I call it. I call it tickets by number dot get for ID. I actually changed this to number. I like the number better. It's the ticket number, not the ID on it in the other class. So I can return all the tickets for that number. One line of code. Again, not looping, not ifing, not adding to a new structure. The structure already exists. I don't have to, I'm just giving you a copy of it, right? So by doing that, I actually don't need duplicate submissions anymore necessarily. We'll come back to that here in a second. We can decide that. But what I do need to do is, when I'm adding it in, I made the choice. We're going to add every ticket by number. We're going to take every ticket, we're going to add it in right here. So what I need to do, because I have this list of tickets, and you got to remember that a map only stores one value for each key. That's what the set is doing, essentially. A set is a map where the key and the value are the same thing. So what I really want to get is, I need to get a list of tickets, which is all for number here. And I can do that by doing a get of the ticket dot get number. So I get this list of tickets for this number. Now, if, I keep saying tickets, just one ticket. If all for number, after I go and get it, is equal to null, that means I haven't found a ticket of that type yet. I can actually cheat a little bit because of the unique submissions. I actually know if I've added or not by this one up here, but I'm going to keep it simple here because this logic right here is something you'll reuse in many, many applications. So I'm going to keep it simple here and do an extra check, but I don't necessarily need to do that. There's clever ways I could shortcut this because of the way I've solved this problem. All right, so if it's null, all for number needs to be equal to a new list. We'll make an array list of this time. It could be a linked list just as easily, it doesn't matter, of tickets. New list ticket. And then once I've created that, I need to add that into, the tickets by number. I need to put that list inside of there for that ticket get number. I'm going to add all for number. All right, so I want to basically look at it this way. Think of this like if I had a grade book and every student has a page in the grade book. And you walk in and say, hey, here's my submission. I first look at my grade book to see if there's a page. If there's not, I create a new page for you and I put it in my book. What is this complaining about? Oh, that's because this is a byte. I guess maybe I should make this byte to make it line up. I thought it would automatically cast it, but it doesn't. So I'll make this byte. I'll make this byte. All right, so it's just, I thought it would automatically cast it for me, and it didn't apparently. It does that for base types, but not the object types. All right, so I'm going to, so if you know, I haven't started a list of tickets for that number, then I'm going to start a list for that ticket number. And I can't forget to add in the current ticket to that list. So if there's no fraud, the set and the map would look identical, except for the map would have a list of one ticket every single time. If there is fraud or accidental duplication or something like that, then this map would have more than one ticket for each one. And then I can go off and get all the tickets for that number, which allows me to do that auditing feature of, hey, who has submitted more than one ticket? So let me go ahead and run this real quick. And I am passing all of my tests. So beautiful. I don't necessarily understand the tests. If you are failing a test, you might need to dive in and understand the test, but that's beyond the scope of what I'm going to talk about at this point in the video. Maybe we'll come back to that here in a second, but let's let you pause for now and play with your use of this map. I'll do one more video to kind of wrap around this a little bit, but if you get this far, you're going to be really pretty much ready to submit.